Hello everybody, welcome back to the workshop. So today we are going to be taking this little Russian rose that we made in another video, which you guys can't see that at all. Let me bring you up a little bit closer. Zoom you on in here. There we have it. We're going to take this beauty of a little Russian rose that we made in another video, just one of my previous videos here, and we're going to clean it all up and I'm going to go over some finishing techniques with you. So I hope you guys will enjoy this video. And let's get to it. Thank you for watching. Okay, so as you guys can see it here, as you ladies and gentlemen can see it, we've got this all wire wheeled up now, and it's looking pretty good. I like to do a wire wheel finish on a lot of my stuff, or get it really brushed down nicely and all one even finish before we take in work on recoloring it to what we're wanting. This allows everything to come down into one state, and this really allows us to have a blank canvas, if you will, that we can put as much artistry as we would like into it. The one last thing I have to do is there's a little rough end here. I'm going to sand that off on the belt sander. I'll just do that off camera to save time. But I'm going to do that next, and then we will be ready to take and go ahead and heat temper this. Now I'm going to show you how I heat temper it, and I'm going to show you a very simple paraffin wax coating and when you apply it. Now you can use beeswax, you can use boiled linseed oil, you can use a lot of different finishes at this point. I'm just going to show you a simple candle wax finish that seems to hold up very well. Now what we're looking to get at is something that looks about like this. Now here I did a smooth petal texture on the outside and rough on the end, and here I've got a rough petal texture on the outside and a smooth on the end. And so you can really just do this any sort of way that you want to. Sky's the limit. But as you can tell, they make just kind of two different roses, but they're very pretty. So without further ado, let's get over there to the vise and we will get this all colored up. Okay everybody, so here we are at the vise. I hope you guys can hear me above the roar of the torch. I don't have the torch up that high, but I just wanted to take and show you guys how this was done. So I've got this little rosebud here on my oxygen propane torch. You can use oxygen acetylene or butane torch, or really it's just whatever will heat this up. And what we're wanting to do is we want to turn the stem black, or like a blue color. And we want to take and turn the petals up here on just the highlights. We want to turn that to a brass color. So I'm going to heat this up really well. I've got it on a low flame. We don't have to overdo this. We just want to blue the steel essentially. Hot blue the steel. And then we're going to brass brush some highlights up the tip. All your finish work, all your work comes down to this last little 10% of finish work. And I hope you guys will take that to heart. If you don't ever listen to anything else I say on YouTube or in person at one of my workshops I teach or classes, I hope that you'll at least listen to that and take it with you while you're out there at your clubs and whatnot. That all ironwork can be summed up in that last 10% of finish work. You can have absolutely wonderful smiths that have great skills and abilities, and they suck at finishing, and their work looks like their work suffers. It just turns out looking like garbage. And then you can have smiths that are really not actually that skilled at smithing, and it doesn't matter because their finish work is amazing. And so therefore they can command higher prices for their work and things of that nature. So that's something to keep in mind. Of course, this is only my opinion. You can believe how you want, the way you want, but from what I have understood and what I know is everything comes down to the last 10% of your finished work. So now that we've got the brass on the top of the flower here, we can end up locking that in. But first what we need to do is we need to get the bottom of the stem. So we're going to flip this on out, and I'm going to put this up here, and I'm going to try to heat this as evenly as I can. The copper jaws kind of help with that. So now I'm going to heat right down here in the copper jaws, and hopefully I can get some blue to start showing up across the entire stem. So that's what we're going to do now. So get this good and hot. Get the whole stem blued. You don't have to blue the whole stem. You could leave a little interest in the middle. So leave the middle unblued or anything. And do the ends just blued, and then do the center. Do the center with a bit of a brass brushing for highlighting. And that can work too as well. And that would look really nice. So we might just go ahead and do that right now. Give me a second. So just in the center, I'm just going to give it some brass brush. That it's hot enough now that you can put a little bit of brass brushing on it. And this gives the stem a little bit more dynamic range and doesn't look so flat, so horribly flat. So now I'm just going to lock this very loosely in the vise. And I'm going to coat it with paraffin wax. So let me grab that wax. The wax I use is just a standard candle wax. You can get this at any Walmart or whatever. It doesn't matter where you get it, but it works very well. You want to give the piece just a little chance to cool. You want it to have some smoke, but you don't want it to be so hot that it catches fire. You want it just hot enough that it melts the wax and gets it to run in every crevice. Now this is the great thing about a wax finish versus a spray can or a spray paint finish, is that that wax will literally run into every single pore and coat the entire thing with a waxed finish. Now, the downside to wax finishes, or any finish, is if you disturb that finish. If you disturb it in any way, you scratch it after it's cooled down, and you scratch it and you get down to bare metal, it will rust in that spot almost instantaneously. So, you know, this is a serviceable finish is what they call it. It's not a permanent finish. So it's something to, you know, take into consideration there. It is a serviceable finish. And I like serviceable finishes on some things, mainly interior stuff that's going to be in an enclosed interior like a house, a museum or something like that. You can do a serviceable finish if they care to keep up with it, but it does require upkeep. So just, you know, keep that in mind whenever you're selling your work to a customer, homeowner, or whatever. You want it to be a serviceable finish for them that they are actually going to keep up on. So there you have it. So that's all finished up. I hope you all really enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. And let me know what you thought of it in the comment section down below. I would also be very curious to hear what type of finishes you use personally in your shop. Are they commercially had finishes? Are they just beeswax? Are they the traditional kind of finishes? Let me know in the comment section down below. So like I always say, God bless you, and we will catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.